Hi, how's it going? I'm Marlena. Thanks for wandering by. So today I'm gonna do a fun tarot tag that's like so right up my alley. It is the hashtag back to school tarot that Amy at Strength Reversed created. And Amy's a teacher, and I'm not a classroom teacher anymore, but I definitely still work in education. And I'm also a mom of a child that is starting middle school. And it is back to school time. It is crazy. It is such a big, like, marker in my calendar. Like, it is a big deal, every year to me. And it was just really fun to see this tag pop up. I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to watch this. I watched it and I'm like, I gotta do this. And I like it also, especially because it's a tag where you can just use one deck. You don't have, it's not about the decks, it's about the card. So I like that too. I think that's a lot of fun. I like when we do tags like that too, because I think more people can participate, like you don't have to have a ton of decks in order to do it. So let's just go ahead and start going through the prompts. So the first prompt is the first day of school. So pick a card that reflects how you're feeling about the upcoming season or new beginnings in my practice. So I mean, how I'm feeling about the beginning of the school year, how I've been feeling about this time period right now is like incredibly stressed and overwhelmed. And I actually have a card from a oracle deck. So I have a couple different decks that I chose cards from. And this card is from the Seasons of the Witch Lammas Oracle. And so this is the card Fennel. And I got this card as my card of the week. And it says, there is nothing to fear. Trust that everything will work itself out. And that is a message that I absolutely needed to hear. This is, it's reflecting how I'm feeling. Like it's reflecting that I've been freaking out and that this is what I've needed to hear. And like, honestly, this has become like my mantra. So it's just been, there's nothing to fear. Trust that everything will work itself out. So that's my pick for the first day of school. The card that reflects how I'm feeling about new beginnings in my practice. So just need to like, you know, calm down. um, the next prompt says teacher's pet. Which card are you happy to see anytime it pops up? And so for me, this card comes from, let me see, let me move things out of the way. I just picked the decks that I've been working with mostly recently. So this is the new from the New Wave Tarot, and this is the Sun card. I'm always happy to see the sun. And I mean, it's funny too because I'm filming this and it's a rainy day here and it's my day off and I'm not able to go to the pool because it's raining and I want to be out in the sun. And I love the sun. I love everything to do with the literal sun, but also with the symbology of the sun, this authenticity, this like just true to yourself sort of nature. And then from the New Wave Tarot, these are the backs. Isn't that so cute? The mixtape. But Duran Duran, I love Duran Duran. I wasn't like a super huge Duran Duran fan, but I love them. I love that they are the sun in this particular deck. The sun just makes me feel like, again, like everything, there's a theme here. Like everything's gonna be all right. It gives me energy. It gives me, it makes me feel okay, like okay, everything's gonna be okay, you're okay, you can be yourself. Like that's another lesson. And I think that can be true about this particular band, although I don't know. I got to get into the guidebook more with this. Anyway, so that is teacher's pet. Which card am I always happy to see when it pops up? Okay, then next, oops, I'm dropping things. Okay, the next is the professor. The third prompt is professor. Choose a card that embodies someone or something that taught you an unforgettable tarot lesson. So I have a third deck here that I'm picking cards from, and this is the Apparition Tarot. And I've been working with this one recently as well. So this card is this is the backs of the apparition tarot. So I picked the Emperor. And the Emperor, not just this card, but the Emperor as a card in general, taught me a very valuable lesson in that I can be the emperor. So I feel like there at some point I think I was sharing like a tarot reading that I did with or that I did, and then I was sharing that reading with some friends of mine. And I was, questioning like the emperor and why it kept showing up for me. And I was like, I don't understand like who embodies this, is this supposed to be like some authority figure in my life? Is this like representing my dad? Like, why does this keep popping up? And one of my friends pointed out to me that, like, you could be the emperor, like, you could be embodying the energy of the emperor. And I was like, and at that time, like, this was like a few years ago, like, it totally blew my mind. I never considered, and I had considered myself in like seen myself in other cards, but I never considered myself that, that powerful maybe, or having that kind of power, or being that person in charge, or being able to like have, be in charge of everything, be like the leader, be the person. Even though I have lots of leadership qualities, and I'm in charge of quite a bit, and responsible for quite a bit in my personal life, work life, family life, etc. And so it just kind of like was crazy to me, and a lesson that I continue to take with me, because I just never considered that I could be this emperor. And this is a pretty cool card. With all this, feels like, I don't know, a little bit all over the place. I do like the box within the box, the four, the planet that pops up there, and just like kind of like this, like, it really feels like a king's kind of feast, emperor's feast. Like, this is your like fruits of your labor. This is, and also, like, with the planet, like, you're the head, you're the head person in charge here. So anyway, yeah, so that's the emperor, and that was the professor card, the card that embodies something that taught me an unforgettable tarot lesson. The fourth prompt is called School Crush. What card is obsessed with me right now? So it's not me crushing on the card, it's the card stalking me. So the card that is completely obsessed with me right now is the Two of Pentacles. And I literally just made a video about my like looking deeper into the Two of Pentacles, because it's been after me. And I think like that, like, figuring out my priorities and like balancing all this stuff that I have going on with work and, family life, and just like trying to, enjoy I'm not on vacation, but like people around me have been on vacation, um, enjoying the summer, like, doing fun stuff and whatever, has been a lot. So I think that's why the card keeps coming up. But this is from the New Wave Tarot, and it's you too. Is the Two of Pentacles in this. Two hearts beat as one. So yeah, I think that's a good choice for the Two of Pentacles. Interesting though, seems a little more Two of Cupsy with that, that song title there. But yeah, I like it that it's you two and also the number two. But that duality, I think, is a really big thing. And oh, by the way, if you watched my last video, you saw that one of the big repeating meanings kind of over the course of time for like a kind of predictive style reading for the Two of Pentacles is receiving good news, like getting a letter, getting something written that is good news. And I gotta tell you that very recently, after I've been getting this, we did get something written that was really good news. Very exciting. So yeah, that was, you know, So there you have it, you know. It does. So I don't always read predictably, but I love it when things like that happen. So yeah, so for the school crush, this card, the Two of Pentacles, has been obsessed with me these past couple weeks. All right. And then the fifth prompt is Hall Pass. Which card has imagery that transports you to another place? So for this, I picked two cards because, I always have to break the rules. I picked two cards. No, I didn't. I'm lying. I'm not breaking the rules. I only picked one card. I guess I did narrow it down in the end. Okay, I picked one card from the Seasons of the Witch Llamas, and I picked the card Meadow. There's a lot in the imagery of this deck that transports me to places, but this meadow in specifically transports me to a time when I was in my early 20s. Was I, or was I even younger than that? I might have been younger, my late teens, when I went to with friends to Asheville, North Carolina for a poetry festival. And there was, I think it was near the college, near the University of North Carolina at Asheville. Is that the name of the school? Anyway, wherever we were, there was this meadow of flowers that I just had never seen anything like that before. Like I haven't seen that here um in where I live, and it was just like this. And it's so cute too because she's like sitting there and reading. What does this one say? This says, "Let your being be as full and vibrant as a summer meadow." So yeah, I mean, like, I love that she's reading. I love that, it just reminds me of that time. And I'd never seen wildflowers in a meadow like that ever before. And I really don't think I've seen that very often since, because there's not like a lot of meadows where I live. A lot of beaches, not a lot of meadows. Anyway, so that's a very transportive type of imagery and card. Okay, so that was number five, the hall pass. Now, number six is, I love all this theme, this back to school theme is so fun. So study hall is the next prompt, and it says, which card represents a tarot concept or lesson you're struggling with right now? So I think I've actually talked about this recently too, but in the last month, because we're still here at the beginning-ish of August, but a lesson that I'm always trying to learn, oh yeah, a lesson that I'm always learning is how to listen to my body, because I don't ever feel like I'm in my body. Um, I am like just stuck in here a lot. And I don't pay attention to my body and what my body needs and body is asking for often. So this is from the Apparition Tarot, and this is the Four of Swords. And last month, the Four of Swords was my card for the energy of the month, and I just needed rest. Like I don't like I guess I am ignoring, maybe I was ignoring the that my body needed rest. My mind needs rest sometimes too, because that's what I mean, this is the sword suit, but like, yeah, my body, my mind, everything needed a little bit of a break, and a little bit of a, like, to get rejuvenated a bit. But yeah, this is the lesson that I didn't, this didn't wrap up in a neat little bow at the end of July. Like, I still need this lesson. I need to figure out, how to really give myself that respite, that time off, like in my brain too, like, and in my body, but my brain needs it as well. So, study hall, that was the sixth prompt. And then the next prompt is number seven, note passed in class. And Amy was really funny because she was like, kids don't pass notes anymore. They text each other. And that's right. It is such a shame too, because it was so fun to pass notes. And so like Amy was talking about those notes that you would fold into that like cool little triangle, or that little thing that you would do the pocket. Like we did that, at least my generation anyway. Yeah, I have literally in storage, like stuff that I kept from, from my childhood and, school days. And I have bags full of notes that friends passed to me in middle school and high school, especially high school. Because that's what we would do when we would like meet each other by our lockers or pass when we passed each other in the hallway, and friends that you didn't, that were not necessarily in any of your classes, you would pass notes with them, and they would have the note to read when they made it to their next class, and so forth and so on. So like that's what I used to do with a lot of my friends, and it was fun. I loved passing notes. I loved writing the notes and reading the notes that I got. We used to write each other like long ass notes too, like letters, okay? Anyway, so for this prompt, it's notes passed in class. I don't think I passed a lot in class. I think I did more that like hallway sort of thing. Because I was such a goody two shoes, like if I ever got caught passing a note in class, I would have been like mortified, and I was super nerdy and very, very much like wanting the teacher's affirmation. So I was always like, trying to pay as close attention as I could, except for math. Like that just wasn't my jam. Anyway, okay, no, let me let me read the prompt now. So it's, what card is a secret message from the universe that you need to hear? So this one's kind of interesting because it's going to be from the New Wave Tarot, and it is the Seven of Pentacles, but the message that I needed to hear was about this band Big Country, which I'd never heard of before. Like, so I know a lot of the bands and songs that are popping up in the New Wave Tarot, but I'd not ever heard of this Scottish band called Big Country. And started listening to their songs, and I made a playlist, and this was the message that I needed. Oh my God, this music is fantastic. Like I've been really, really enjoying it. And I really like it coupled with the Seven of Pentacles because it feels very like tied to the earth, very like homegrown, very like, I don't know. It's just been really cool. I've been enjoying listening to a couple of their songs. One of them is Big Country. So self-titled, I guess. And then another one was called something about harvest, home home harvest or harvest home, which is so like perfect for the Seven of Pentacles. But yeah, that is the note passed in class prompt. Okay, the next prompt is called pop quiz, which you hate, right? Hate a pop quiz. I don't really remember getting lots of pop quizzes. Maybe I think I had a algebra or math teacher who was into pop quizzes. Maybe? My memory is bad. I don't remember. But anyway, pop quiz. The prompt says, pick a card that always puts you on the spot, something that challenges you to trust your instincts. So I feel like I'm kind of reading this almost like literally and I picked it from the Apparition Tarot. It's the High Priestess. And it's funny because last month the High Priestess was a card that I kept seeing often. And then this month, in my month ahead reading, which I guess I'm into doing now all of a sudden, the High Priestess is something that I need to leave behind. And so I'm like, oh no, like I've been really thinking about what that means, like leaving behind, like, my perspective, or seeing like I think I wrote a journal entry about this recently, where I'm like thinking about like, am I not seeing things from other people's perspective? Am I like too in my own like ego maybe, or am I only using like my intuition? I don't know, should I be tapping into like something else that's more external rather than internal, to like kind of suss out what's going on around me? Or, what is this about? Like, I've just been like, kind of on a journey trying to figure out why I needed to leave her behind. And maybe I'm thinking about it too much because I'm supposed to leave her behind. But this is the High Priestess from the apparition tarot, and I really love this like portal energy we have going on here, and the mirror, that's a really good symbol, I think, for the high priestess. Yeah, so a card that challenges me to trust my instincts very much so right now. Uh and I just find it so intriguing that this is a card that I'm supposed to like leave behind, If you guys have any thoughts about that, tell me. I'd love to hear. Tell me in the comments. Okay. Then number 9, so we're almost done. So number 9, choose a card that you understand and just get. I feel like this is, so like honor roll. So like this is like, you've got this A plus, you've got this squared away. And I feel like I've been thinking about and working with and working on this card because it's my birth decan card for so long that I just get it and I feel like it gets me. Like when I realized or found out that the Eight of Swords, and this is the Eight of Swords from the New Wave Tarot, which is 99 Luft Balloons, 99 Red Balloons by Nina. Anyway, when I found out that the Eight of Swords was my birth card, it made so much sense. And I remember doing that video, that Decan video that I did where I explored the Eight of Swords Decan and talked about, that interference and like being just in your own head. Like that is so like me. It feels me. Like I feel like this card understands me. And then when I, started working with this deck and I realized that this is one of my favorite songs ever. And it's also one of my favorite moments. They use this song in a moment in the TV show Scrubs, which is also one of my favorites. I, I'll put that up on the screen again because I just love it. It really felt like you get me, Eight of Swords. Like you get me. We've worked together for a long time. So I feel like I just get this card. It just makes sense. And honestly, I don't even know if I explain it well out loud when I talk about it, but it just, boom, it's just, I get it. So yeah, so that's the honor roll card, a card that I understand and just get, and it gets me too. It gets me too. Um, all right, and then the last one is backpack. So if you could only carry one tarot card in your backpack for the year ahead, what would it be? So I do carry a backpack still. I carry a backpack to work. Maybe I'll do if you guys want me to tell me, I will do a what's in your bag video. I've never done one of those. Anyway, um, I have a journal and I have some tarot cards from like extra cards that I've gotten from like different decks and things that I've ordered. They give you like a one card. And I've had this, in my journal in my backpack for a while. And so it's different than any of the other decks because it's from the Black Violet Tarot. Here are the backs. And it's the Fool card from this deck. So I have had this I've been carrying this around for a little while. I love this Fool card. I have wanted the cherry edition of this deck that's out of print for a really long time. And I told myself I was never going to get the black and white one, but I kind of just did because I've been wanting, I've been looking at this card a lot recently. So yeah, I decided to get that. But anyway, this is the Fool card and I don't know, it just speaks to me. I love this very witchy, very like Edgar Allan Poe-esque kind of moment here. This like Wuthering Heights, it just feels this like gothic, Wuthering Heights, very, yeah, Poe, very like that kind of vibe with this witchy woman with the flowing black hair. Like she's feels like she's part of the cliff as she's stepping off of the cliff and just looking up and just it feels so like wild and free and also scary and insane. And I feel like, and that's the energy there, of the Fool, that literal well, that metaphorical, sorry, not literal, that metaphorical of jumping off the cliff. So yeah, that's the card that has been hanging out with me in my backpack. So that's it. And then there was she asked us to do extra credit to come up with another prompt for extra credit. Okay, so Amy wants us to create an extra credit prompt, and I'm just going to call it the extra credit assignment because all I want to do is shuffle one of the decks and pick a card that's going to represent a guide or advice for this upcoming season. So for me, I'm asking for a guide or something, some piece of advice that's going to help me through this upcoming season. So it's kind of similar to the first one. But anyway, let's pick it from the Seasons of the Witch Llamas Oracle. All right. And the card that I got is Prayers to the Earth. And this is what it looks like. Prayers to the Earth. Become present with the blessings you already have. May gratitude fill your heart. Oh, that's wonderful advice. That's so beautiful. That's great. That is definitely going to help me. So, in this time, especially of this like rushing around, new school year, new time where we have to like buy all these things or makes you feel like you need to have all these things new, brand spanking new, fresh, that you can and also like everything is so new, but you maybe you like lose sight, I could be losing sight of like what's I already have, like, and be grateful for what I already have, what's already in place, like not just like, material things, but like the systems and in my work, like that I've already have and created that are in place that like set me up for the new school year. And yeah, and my wonderful like staff and the like amazing students that I get to work with and like all of the stuff. Yeah. That's awesome. Prayers to the earth. I really like that. I really love that. So that was my extra credit assignment, to shuffle and draw a card that represents a guide or advice to you for the upcoming season. So if you do this, that was my extra credit assignment. If you want to do that one, or you can, come up with your own, like Amy suggested. So that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for sticking with me. Thank you so much to Amy from Strength Reverse for creating this back to school tarot tag. That was super fun. And yeah, I hope that you all enjoyed that. Definitely let me know if you're going to do this too. And yeah, help me out with that one card in my comments down below. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I hope that you all have a beautiful, wonderful day. And for those of you that are going back to school, a beautiful, wonderful school year. Bye.